What's up, Premier Guitar? Yvette here, and today we're going to be taking a first look into the EarthQuaker Afterneath V3. It's an amazing reverb delay-esque pedal. I guess I'm going to start this off by taking a superficial side-by-side glance of the V3 versus an older version of the Afterneath pedal. So other than the obvious graphical improvement here, looks like there's been a bit of knob reordering. I think the reflect and the drag knobs have done the old switcheroo. The drag knob is now in the middle on the V3, and there's a corresponding mode knob added. And I believe that the mode knob all the way to the left is basically the stock Afterneath reverb sound. Usually when I get a pedal, I like to just plug in and mess around and see if I can find any cool sounds. But this time I figure I would go through and see what each knob actually does and see if there's any cool ways that the knobs interact with each other. So I figured I'd go through with you guys and tell you what each knob actually does in detail. So length is basically decay, pretty standard for a reverb, just controls how long the tail lasts. When it's really low and all the way to the left, it sounds like a slapback. Diffuse is like room size. It basically scatters all your repeats. Dampen over here is your tone knob. Mix way over here is your blend of wet and dry, which can be really useful when you're trying to maintain clarity, and attack. Over here, reflect is basically, it controls regeneration. So when you max it out all the way to the right, you can actually get to self-oscillate, and it makes for some pretty wicked feedback sounds. Really cool noise. And drag right here, the middle knob, it controls the separation of the delay lines. And now it is newly linked to this mode knob, which is new. I already said that, sorry. The drag knob now can be utilized in several quantized modes, which I will get into later. So first, I figure I'll mess with the stock Afterneath sound. I'm going to go ahead and keep the length, reflect, and drag all the way down, and it should just sound like a stuttered sort of delay reverb. Okay, so I plugged in, and low-key it sounds like a hammered dulcimer part, or even a ringing telephone. All of the settings that I just used, you can achieve on the older version of the Afterneath as well. Just a side note and a thought is, I love working with reverbs and delays because I feel like it forces me to play more minimally. So instead of like a flurry of notes, says the girl who just did like a tap run, I lay back a bit and I actually listen to the decay of the delay or the reverb, and I take that into consideration when I'm writing my part. And, you know, there can be really cool rhythmic interaction too, which is, I think, something I'm going to consider going into the mode knob, which I'm going to get into right now. And the mode knob right here controls what you hear when you manipulate the jack knob. I'll demonstrate that later. Mode knob is actually the newest feature of the EarthQuaker Afterneath V3, and it basically allows you to be selective about about what pitches you hear when you manipulate the jag knob. It's like a quantizing feature where it quantizes pitches to a scale of your choice, and you can choose that scale using the mode knob, and then you can hear how it affects, how you can hear just basically the notes, only the notes that you want. Now when you adjust the jag knob. And you can get smoother external control of that with the help of an expression pedal. So I think the order of it, of the modes goes, the first couple are unquantized smooth modulation. So that just means it like slides through the pitches without any like hard cutoffs. So the second one, actually, I think they describe it as like a slew. And what that means is that it ramps into the pitch, which is kind of a cool little nuance. The third one is just quantized, hard cutoff pitches. Then following that is the major scale and then the minor scale, pentatonic scale, octaves and fifths, and then it omits every other pitch that's not an octave or fifth, and then just pure octaves. This is going to be a challenge to film because I'm by myself, but I'm going to go ahead and try to cycle through the settings with an expression pedal, and you can hear what the mode knob is doing to those pitches in between. Oh, and not to fear, if you don't have an expression pedal, you can do this with the jag knob. I'm go ahead and using an expression pedal because it's like a bit smoother, and I don't have to use my other hand to like manipulate the jag knob. But do note that if you do hook in an expression pedal, I think it bypasses the jag knob, so you then only have to use the pedal, and then the jag knob doesn't really do anything. So I'm as new to this as you guys are. Let's try to dive into some of these modes to see what they're all about and how you could maybe use them practically. So that was me playing with the octave and fifths mode, which is the immediate one I gravitated towards. And it was fun. And then I realized, what if I hooked it up to something that would like generate like a sustained pattern? And I could change the pitches in the pattern with the expression pedal to the beat, to the tempo. So I busted out my Electro-Harmonix Modrax, which is a polyrhythmic modulator, and I kind of messed around and came up with this. Then I wanted to check out the octave setting. I wanted to see what the jag would sound like with just octaves, and that's the last setting on the knob. And I decided it would also probably sound cool with some kind of gain or distortion pedal, and I went with the Iron Horse from Walrus Audio. I really like what reverb and delay can do to kind of like widen the sound of distortion or gain. It can kind of round it out, make it fuller and even a bit sweeter. And conversely, I do like what gain pedals can do to delay. It can kind of emphasize some of the repeats and bring out weird little nuances and details in really cool ways. So in conclusion, I think this pedal is sick. Verdict is in. I think the original Afterneath was already such an amazing reverb with so much character. And the addition of the mode knob and the ability to customize the jag now, I think is a really useful tool. I used an expression pedal today, but I can imagine all sorts of cool applications for it other than an expression pedal. I think the addition of the mode knob and the ability to selectively quantize to certain scales lends itself to a lot of really cool melodic applications of this pedal. Of course, this is just my first glimpse, my first experience with it, but I'm sure more time spent with this pedal can lead to all sorts of creative uses of it. Oh, especially I think there's endless ways to use this pedal in conjunction with other pedals. Like today I just on a whim busted out the polyrhythmic modulator pedal I had and then a distortion pedal. But I can imagine this would do really cool things to maybe even like fuzz or even stuck with other delays. Possibilities are endless, and I can't wait to see what people choose to do with theirs. Anyway, put on your wizard hat and start shoegazing or whatever your whatever floats your boat. Thanks for watching. Bye.